His projected debut could be Saturday's home game against Indiana or Monday against Utah. Anthony Davis's debut with the Dallas Mavericks will also be delayed. A sore foot will keep AD out of tonight's game at Philadelphia. The Mavericks are at Boston on Thursday. Top 5 women's college basketball teams in this week's Associated Press Top 25 poll. Undefeated UCLA is still number 1 at 21-0, followed by South Carolina, Notre Dame, Texas, and UConn. USC dropped from 4th to 7th after their 15-game winning streak was snapped Sunday at Iowa. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is First Things First. And my very first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from the Most High. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders and getting it started. As always, we have a lot to talk about. Happy Blackity Black, extra black with the side order of Black History Month. We're going to do all that this month because we can. Because no one's in charge of Black History Month except you, me, and Carter G. Woodson. In any case, this is how we do the show on a Talking Point Tuesday. Hour 1, we look left coast. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic, on a person of interest, the well-being of young women and girls, top of mind right now in this current environment. And Dela Jane Mays is joining me to take a look at that, what she's doing about it. Journalist and fiery progressive Barrington Salmon joining me hour 2, and we will chop up the levels and levels and levels, layers and layers of international and national headlines that we need to keep track of, but also manage the impact on our psyche. And right now it's me, you, the microphone, the telephone, maybe Miles if he wants to talk. Yeah, let's talk about what's going on right now. There's a lot. Rain is on the way, reportedly. And that's worrisome. If you are in a burned out area, you can get free sandbags. LA County has a special sandbag website because people are concerned about mudslides. And probably it's not, if you can kind of, especially if you're in the Altadena, Pasadena area or out in Palisades, Malibu, if you could not drive around, probably a better idea while the rain is falling. But free sandbags you can get. You go to lacounty.pw/sandbags, and you can find out there's distribution centers. There's one in Malibu, there's one in Altadena, one in Pasadena, and I believe there's one in Palisades. But it's a good idea to do that, just to be ready. And they're free, lacounty.pw/sandbags. And it'll list them there. If you were impacted by the fire or somebody was, you got to get on these lists. That's what I've learned from talking to these lawyers. And we'll have Attorney Bradley Gage will be in with us tomorrow, along with Jeff Davis, who is an expert on insurance. So if you are trying to navigate these systems, or you have a friend that's trying to navigate these systems, please have them tap in with me hour 3 tomorrow, because we're going to be answering questions and getting some really good information. Meanwhile, to get on these lists, recovery.lacounty.gov, recovery.lacounty.gov. If it's you, or if your mama or granny hasn't done it, can you please make them do it? Because, for example, debris removal is a list that you need to get on, and I believe it's first come, first served. So that means the sooner you get on the debris removal line, the sooner they can take that stuff off of your property. And with that includes the toxic stuff, like they will remove the old lithium batteries that could turn into basically a blowtorch and harm you or a loved one trying to dig through that debris. Lead, asbestos, paints, hazardous. That's the first thing they do, is they do the hazmat thing. And they have experts that do that. Then after that, they take off the actual debris, the regular debris. That's not going to kill you if you touch it or breathe it or make you very ill. And after that, you will be ready to rebuild. So you want to get on that list, recovery.lacounty.gov, or you could call the hotline. They have a debris removal hotline. If you're not good with internets, call 844-347-3332, 844-347-3332. We're going to have that in a spot that's running on the air soon, so you can tell a friend. Just listen to KBLA. We want to be here for you. I am still stunned by how many people I know that are actually personally dealing with the loss of a home or more than one family home. So the same with insurance. You want to get your claim in, and I know it's a nightmare dealing with these folks, but you want to call them if you haven't done so, because it will trigger the chain of events that pauses your payments with your mortgage. It will get your claim in before, I don't know if these jokers run out of money. Are the insurance companies insured? I guess we'll ask Jeff Davis that when he comes here. But apparently that heavy rain that they call an atmospheric river was doing its thing in Northern Cali yesterday, and it's supposed to hit LA today. The good part about that is that we'll be out, if it's a solid rainfall, we'll be out of this period when we're so dry that if any spark or wind, Santa Ana winds kick up, we see this insane fire like we saw in the Palisades and Altadena. The bad news is that it could come with a bunch of flooding And it's going, they're saying, early part of the week. Snow in the Sierra Nevada, that's good news. So we've got 2 storms coming, apparently. Tuesday night through Wednesday midday. Of course, these are always guesstimates. You know that because weather is not an exact science. But, yeah, it's just a lot right now. And I was reflecting on the conversation I had with Dr. Erica Holmes, who was with me. And by the way, if you missed that show, or you missed the amazing conversation with Dr. Sunshine and Dr. Jashana Johnson, then you can hear them as podcasts. I recommend those if you're struggling, like so many of my friends, struggling with mental health because of the fires, because of the 5-alarm fire that is the current Republican administration, because of worldwide events. Those shows are good to listen to, some tools, some ideas, some mindsets that you can tap into from psychologists. Dr. Holmes was saying something that really stayed with me, which is that when you go through a trauma, like the loss of your home, or for many of us, the loss of this election, right? You might not immediately feel it. Sometimes, we're all familiar with the stages of grief. I mean, I can't rattle them off. There's, I think, 5 stages of grief. So you might not hit the depression, freak out, mental health crisis section for days, weeks, or even months. And what she said really made me want to be there for you in terms of the guests that we bring on this show. But I'm thinking she was talking about for many people who've lost homes, or those who will be losing opportunities due to the current administration, that they may find themselves in the summertime feeling depressed, low energy, feeling some kind of anger that seems irrational, lashing out at their loved ones, friends, fellow drivers on the road. And that can be a delayed response when your mind and body has processed whatever grief from that loss. And so I just want to give ourselves the heads up so that we can give ourselves a little grace. Yeah, because this is a marathon, not a sprint, as somebody once said. It's a marathon, not a sprint. State Farm, which is apparently the largest insurer of homes in the Golden State, is pushing authorities to approve a rate hike of 22%. That's a huge jump in your premium. They say they've already got 8,700 claims. They've already paid $1 billion to customers, and they think they're going to have to pay out way more than that. These fires are the costliest natural disasters in history, and they say they need to charge you more. Are we surprised? 38% more for rentals, 15% for tenants. That's crazy. To me, it's crazy because we've been paying into our insurance policies for all these years. If you're a homeowner like I am, I bought my house for something you could never buy a house for back in the year 2000. And I've been paying my fire insurance every single month for all of those years, as have all of those homeowners. Whether you've had your home for a year or it's been in your family, you've been paying those insurance premiums for all those years. Now, when you have to do what we are paying you to do, which is be there for us in a crisis, now you have to raise rates. I mean, I understand it's a huge crisis to the point that perhaps wasn't anticipated, but it feels like a scam. I have to pay into it for all these years, and then you're like, oh, you actually needed to use it. Now I have to raise the rate. Oh, we're going to stop insuring California. We're going to stop insuring Florida, North Carolina. We took our money and now we're running. That's how it feels to me. They're claiming they lost $2.8 billion over the past 9 years. And, I don't know. Something's fishy about this to me. Because if my business model is I pay you for nothing, I pay you for just the possibility that something could go wrong. And then once every blue moon, you have to pay out. How are you losing money? Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Rick Caruso's got a new foundation. We'll take a look at that and more when we come forward. I'd love to hear from you, 800-920-1580. Also, I do want to talk a little bit more about the Grammys because I missed a few. In the spirit of blackety blackness, I would like to go back over and show some love. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
I have a dream today.
From the inventors who transformed our world to the activists who changed our nation, their stories shaped America. This February, KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates Black History Month with powerful conversations, untold stories, and voices that need to be heard. Join us all month long for special programming that honors the past while inspiring our future. Black History Month on KBLA Talk 1580. Our history, our voices, our time.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Yeah. I love to hear from you. I always love to hear from you. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. And I do have a question for you. How will you celebrate Black History Month? How are we going to make this the blackest Black History Month ever? I think that is very therapeutic. I started out talking about how you might find yourself being hit by the fires or the Republican MAGA new fascist regime or any other kind of major trauma that we're facing this year. And I said, it might hit you in a time release. Well, there's some things we can do. And I think some of those are celebrating ourselves and remembering the things we have control over. One of those is Black History Month. It's true. At KBLA, Black History Month is every month. That is true. But it's also true that February is important. Carter G. Woodson has a point. Every scholar that I know, and many artists, public speakers, actors, nonprofits, they get more work in February. I remember my dad, of course, an author and a scholar, activist, Mary Baraka, Leroy Jones, when he was with us, obviously, Black History Month would be busy. And that's true for every one of the Black scholars that I know. They're going to speak at corporate events. They're going to schools and conferences and different kinds of convenings around Black history. And that's important. I mean, not only does it support these artists and scholars, it gives a focal point for spreading this knowledge and information. So it is important. I don't think the declaration that Black History Month is every month should cancel the hyper-focus in February. And us being mad that we got the shortest month of the year. I mean, we need to remember it was intentional. It was because it's the month with the birthday of Abe Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. It just also happens to be the month of a lot of other Black leaders and innovators. So I say, let's not let them erase it, and it's not up to them. I mean, the government, I don't know, what did the Pentagon ever do for your Black History Month? Oh, boo-hoo, the Pentagon's not celebrating Black History Month because of DEI. I'm not really sure what they did. I don't know. Maybe if I was a soldier, I would feel differently because I would know. But as far as I've known, that's never been a big thing. And these government agencies saying, and the 47th president is talking out of both sides of his neck as usual. Over here, he's like, NDEI, we hate Black people. We're going to go after South Africa and meddle in other people's business and pretend there was no such thing as apartheid and that there's a genocide against white farmers. LOFNL. But on the other side of his mouth, he's like, oh, happy Black History Month. I proclaim it Black History Month. Be quiet. STFU. Quit lying. Because if you were celebrating Black History Month, you would know why the South African government is trying to do what every Western government, by the way, has the right to do, which is take property through eminent domain if they feel it is in the public interest. They're not even doing what Zimbabwe did and say, you know what, all you white farmers, you stole this land from our ancestors during apartheid. Now we're taking it back. That's what Robert Mugabe did. That's why they're still punishing Zimbabwe all these years later. They actually took back a decent chunk of the arable land. That's not what South Africa's doing. They have passed a law that says if it's in the public interest, they can take land. It doesn't say white people's land. It says land, but read white people's land because they own all the land. How did that happen? They can take that land and they will be compensated for it. They're not just going to take it. They're going to do them like they did Black people in LA to build the 10 freeway. Here's your check. Might not be what you think it's worth, but we are going to build a freeway. Have a nice day. Now, I would argue that it's different for Black Americans because we were still emerging, as we still are, from the impacts of enslavement and Jim Crow. So if we had finally got a house and now you decide to take it for the 10 freeway, that's a little different than you, the settler colonizer, who took all the land and then enforced it through a reign of terror for decades. Oh, but now the government's taking it for a public park or some affordable housing or whatever, and you'll get paid. Boo-hoo, it's a genocide. I don't think so. This is the direct evidence of Elon Musk, the white South African descendant of apartheid profiteers, whispering in the president's ear. That's exactly what it is. It is the impact of having an unelected billionaire with insane access, nearly total carte blanche in government. Who voted for him? I didn't. I mean, I didn't vote for Trump either, but somebody did, right? Nobody voted for Elon Musk, no matter how much they like him, no matter how much y'all love to drive around in them Teslas. They did not add up to one single vote, no matter how many $1 million little contest schemes he ran. The reason I call it a scheme, a scam, or whatever, in case you weren't paying attention, they had already pre-selected all the winners when they announced that so-called contest. How is he not being fined or jailed or anyway? Clearly this man is the co-president. And I read a great article by Elie Mystal in The Nation the other day, which I agree with so much. Democrats, why are you voting for anything these people propose? Anything. Any nominee, any proposal, anything. Total obstruction is where we need to be. As long as you've got an unelected billionaire with his hand in the till who has now access to your Social Security number, your bank account, we don't know whether he can stop payments or not, has access to all this classified information, which gives him a leg up on all of his competitors, even though he's already the richest man in the world. Total lack of cooperation. That's what I expect from my Democratic Party. Why is anybody voting to confirm Tulsi Gabbard? Why is anyone voting to confirm Pete Hegseth? Why are Democrats participating in this insanity? You can vote no. I feel like I feel like Mystal is onto something for two reasons. Number one, the point he made in the article, which is if you as Democrats at least resist and are loud about it, like AOC, at least you don't take the blame. At least you're not complicit, right? And number two, you can't normalize this behavior by trying to play nicey nice and being traditionalists at a time when our government is being taken over by authoritarians, unelected billionaires. You are fiddling while Rome is burning. It's time to stop acting like things are normal. We'll act like we've always acted and hope things go back the way they were. Nah, we need you to do something. The house is on fire and you're all over here sipping tea. What the heck? Oh yeah, I said I was going to talk about Rick Caruso's foundation. Speaking of billionaires we've called out, sometimes it makes a difference. Sometimes it does. We'll talk about that. We'll take your phone calls. We've got news, traffic, and sports right now. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. California faces more rain this week with powerful storms bringing flooding, mudslides, and heavy snow to Northern California. Southern California expects rain through Friday, with mudslides risks heightened in wildfire-affected areas. Reports indicate that the Trump administration set a quota of 1,800 ICE arrests per day. Democrats fear this could lead to citizens and green card holders being mistakenly deported. The NFL is emphasizing security for the big game at Caesars Superdome with help from Homeland Security and 500 FBI personnel. Heightened measures follow a terror attack before the Sugar Bowl on January 1st. And Shabuzi hinted at a possible collaboration with Morgan Wallen during an interview with Billboard backstage at Music's Biggest Night. He mentioned he might be working with the country music superstar and teased stuff's coming. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
If you were self-employed or a 1099 contractor and missed work because you had COVID or cared for an immediate family member with COVID in 2021, you may qualify for up to $32,000 for the Sick and Family Leave Credit. Visit taxcreditnow.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers and Clippers meet up tonight at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. Lakers Nation will have to wait a while for Luka Doncic to make his debut in a Lakers uniform. Doncic is recovering from a strained calf muscle that has kept him off the court since Christmas Day. Doncic is also expected to miss the Lakers home game Thursday night against Golden State. His projected debut could be Saturday's home game against Indiana or Monday against Utah. Anthony Davis's debut with the Dallas Mavericks will also be delayed. A sore foot will keep AD out of tonight's game at Philadelphia. The Mavericks are at Boston on Thursday. Top 5 women's college basketball teams in this week's Associated Press Top 25 poll. Undefeated UCLA is still number 1 at 21-0, followed by South Carolina, Notre Dame, Texas, and UConn. USC dropped from 4th to 7th after their 15-game winning streak was snapped Sunday at Iowa. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
I have a dream today.
The road to freedom wasn't paved with just big moments. It was built day to day, step by step, voice by voice. This February, experience Black History Month through the stories that shape Los Angeles and beyond. KBLA Talk 1580, where Black history lives.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you indeed. And big shout out to one of my shadow producers. She's back. You know, I say that because I have some friends around the country who send me articles and little reminders, and I appreciate y'all. That's how we have to do it many times in Black-owned businesses. We are operating with about a tenth or less of the resources of most other mainstream businesses, but we make it happen. So yeah, appreciate you guys. So what to do, so much to cover, so little time. Okay, y'all know that Trump released that water to prove that he was right about supposedly Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass not releasing water. So he ordered the Army Corps of Engineers to release billions of gallons of water from these two reservoirs that are inside the Central Valley, that are hundreds of miles away from us, that don't help fight fires, that was water they were saving for this summer when it's dry to help water the crops in the Central Valley. But in order to make it look like what he said was true and look like he's doing something, he ordered them to basically waste this water, which is soaking into the ground, leaving farmers bewildered. Why are you using the water that we're saving so that we can have it during the hot, dry summer? So, yeah, but big, giant waste of billions. So he can say he was right. Oh, they're not letting the water flow. I let it flow. But that's like, whoo. That's like Mexico saying, Trump says, we're going to impose these tariffs. And then the Mexican president goes and talks to him and tells him she's going to do these things so he can go back and say, I won, because all he cares about is the perception of winning. And so she promises to do things that she's already doing. And he takes it as a W because he doesn't read. Oh, yeah, we're going to put troops at the border to stop fentanyl. They already have troops at the border. And how does that stop fentanyl? I don't know. But if he thinks it does, just like he thinks that water that he wasted is helping firefighters, even though it's hundreds of miles away and it's not even part of the water system that feeds LA, if he can just, it's like he reminds me of some of these, Instagram thirsties who, it's all about how it looks. It doesn't matter if I really have that butt or or if it's really a filter and I don't look anything like that. As long as you think that I'm winning, I'm winning. That's the philosophy of the 47th president. Okay, let's go to Carl calling us from LA. Good morning, Carl.
Hey, Dominique, can you hear me?
I do hear you.
Okay, because it was sounding like a little bit of static coming through. Your voice was going in and out.
We don't need all that talk. What do you want to say, Carl? What do you want to talk about? I don't want to talk.
Yeah, I got one of the Boost mobile phones,
Oh, I hear it now. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. I'm not going to comment.
Yeah,
we do the best we can.
Washington, Jefferson, Washington, and Western over there is where I pay the bill.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
But look, yeah, you know how that goes. I know it's hot. I never carry this phone on me anyway. I just keep it stuck in the corner. Hey, but anyway, 47, he made sure that these agent farmers got their money before anything happens with the government. I mean, he was talking about it in December when he was coming in. He was making sure that whatever Biden had done, these Asian farmers was going to get their money until next year. It would be no problem.
Well, I mean, do you believe anything this man says is the question. And how do you know when to believe them and when not to believe them?
Well, we'll know when it ain't no bell peppers and celery and carrots and a few things like that. They ain't at Ralph's no more.
Okay, Carl, your phone does sound really, really bad. I would love to talk with you further, and so we're going to give what do you call it? The Boost Mobile / Obama phone exception. If you call and your phone sounds really bad, and then you get to an area where you actually have reception, call me back, okay? Right now it sounds toe up. So we're going to go to Dwight from Compton. Hi, Dwight.
Hotep, Dominique. Hello, KBLA family. Dominique, it's so obvious that Donald Trump is really destroying our democracy. Like you said, he's blaming DEI for all the government problems that we have, whether they happen on his watch, And then he's released 1,500 January 6th criminals that attacked the Washington, D.C. Police Department and tried to overthrow our government. And he just took over the Treasury Department that puts $6 trillion a year. And he took over the Human Resource Department of the government, the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, that has all government employees' information, the Social Security numbers, checks that they pay out, the retired go to, and he started a turf war with China Canada and Mexico that's going to raise the price of our food, our lumber, our cars, the toys, our kids' video games. I mean, if that's not so obvious, but it's not obvious to the people that support Trump, because I talked to a few of them, and they think that Democrats is making the kids gay, letting immigrants come in here and vote, and Trump was sent by God to save democracy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that is true. There's a lot of mis and disinformation. There's a lot of belief, but the regret has already started in certain communities, the buyer's remorse, as they call it, right? And I believe that is going to grow because you, Dwight, read. I read. We watch things. E.C. Courtney, CW Real Estate, Molly Bell. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Queen Molly Bell. It's Molly Bell's B-Day. Will you join me in wishing her a very, very blessed solar return on this day? My birthday wish is that she gets all of her joy back. Yeah, let's show Queen Molly Bell some love. In any case, the point is that you read, I read, Molly Bell reads, Professor Golden reads, the forensic accountant, we read, right? Miles reads. But the vast majority of these folks don't read. They don't watch anything except for whether it's OAN or Fox or, their one channel. And so it's going to take a while for them to understand what is happening. They may never understand what is happening. But as prices go up, and people face the real impacts of, I don't even know if that's a fair prediction, because just like the water scenario, it may be that the president is content to do a lot of shock and awe optics and still keep immigrants working in the fields and cleaning up Mar-a-Lago at night, right? We don't know. But if he actually carries out these mass deportations, if he actually goes through with these tariffs, which we don't know because he's done the old, I won. We'll see what he does in 30 days. And that's one of the reasons why Elon Musk's presence is so toxic, because I think Trump would take the fake win. I think Elon will keep pushing him to punish South Africa, to punish black people, to punish the poor. Because that's how he's built. Zero empathy. Zero grounding. So, and actually a fascist worldview, right? And if you were wondering if that was a Nazi salute, it doesn't really matter in a way, because the Nazi rhetoric is there. Whether he did the salute or didn't do the salute, the rhetoric is there. Go on Elon Musk's Twitter account right now and see what he's writing about South Africa. It reflects the Delulu theory of white supremacy worldview. It's ahistorical, it's anti-black. He's also posted plenty of Malthusian theoretical BS papers that explain why black people's brains are smaller and why we are less competent. That's on his Twitter now. You can go see it. The Nazi salute is there in writing, in tweets. So it's no doubt in my mind the man was doing a Heil Hitler. There's no doubt in the minds of the German people. There's no doubt in the minds of most of the world's dwellers. But if you're confused about it, I'm not going to argue with you about it, because the Heil Hitler tweets are there. You can read it for yourself. To say that black South Africans are committing a genocide against white farmers. I've been to South Africa, rich man. That ain't it. White people still own everything. They still treat black Africans like crap. The so-called programs, the so-called affirmative action programs, have mostly been co-opted by white businessmen who use black accomplices as fronts so they can keep running and controlling everything and can get the benefits of those government programs. Many of the government programs that were supposed to bring black people out of apartheid have been, the main beneficiaries have been the so-called colored people, because for the purposes of affirmative action, colored and black were lumped into one. Because Nelson Mandela was when they go low, we go high type of leader, and he prioritized truth and reconciliation over the reclamation of land and the generations of free and forced labor. They did a can't we all get along instead of a let's do some accounting, let's do some business, just like America. And when you do that, you have an unresolved debt. And Elon Musk seems to think that any little attempt to do anything to resolve that unresolved debt is a genocide. Well then, but what's happening in Gaza is just fine. You don't need a Nazi salute to see what's going on. Look at what the man says out of his own mouth. 800-920-1580 if you got something to say about it. We'll continue this conversation when we come forward. I'm laughing at myself because I said I was going to talk about the water. I did do that. Okay. I was going to talk about the Grammys and Rick Caruso, and I'm over here talking about South Africa because that stuff makes my ancestors mad. And it's Black History Month, so when they get mad, I talk. When they get happy, we celebrate. We're doing it all. Blackest Black History Month ever with KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed. I don't like it.
Inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
The following is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a complimentary stay in Cancun at a luxury resort, then Family Vacation Getaways may have your ticket to paradise. We're giving away a 5-day and 4-night stay to the first qualified 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You may also be eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you may be eligible to get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. Again, call 800-868-6431 and give us your answer.
Attention Los Angeles County renters and landlords. Starting January 1st, 2025, there are new rules limiting rent increases for rent-stabilized units in unincorporated LA County. Most rent-stabilized units will have rent increases capped at 2.565% from January through June 2025, with exceptions for qualified small property landlords and luxury units. To learn more about the new changes, visit rent.lacounty.gov. This message is brought to you by Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs.
Privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. So much going on around here. Shout out to Jay French. We put up one of his clips from that interview, and it's gone crazy on my Instagram. You can find it at DiPrima Radio. That's me on Instagram. Or KBLA 1580. That's on theirs, too. He's talking about Kendrick Lamar. You guys heard the interview. Ooh, you can't say nothing about Kendrick. Anyway, a lot of people are looking at that. If you want to see it, go to my Instagram. If you missed the conversation, it was a very good conversation. That's just a little under a minute clip from an hour-long talk. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. You could also watch it because he came into the studio. You could watch it on YouTube. All of that. It's on my YouTube, which is DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. Or you can find it on KBLA 1580 YouTube. Y'all are just all over that. And so I put up another one just because it seemed like just, a lot of focus on one little moment when there was a lot of interesting things that came out of that conversation. And, of course, as I mentioned, big day today for Black History Month, Molly Bell's birthday. It's also the beginning of the Pan-African Film Festival. The opening night is tonight with that Jonathan Majors comeback film, The Magazine Dreams, being the premiere, and Megan Good will be hosting the Q&A and stuff after. That's happening in Culver City tonight. You go to paff.org for more info. And the Grammys, I didn't realize this was, on balance, maybe one of the blackest Grammys of all time, with, Beyonce winning the Album of the Year. She was, it turns out I was right, she was the first black woman to win Best Country. So that's a big, big deal. We didn't even talk about Fabulous winning her first Grammy. That was a big deal, I think. I felt like there's a lot of firsts. Michelle Ndegeocello, if you haven't peeped that out, alternative jazz, she won. It's a comeback for her. The Gospel of James Baldwin is the album. Just a lot of great moments and great winners that we'll probably be talking about off and on throughout the week, because it was a lot. It was a lot to celebrate, obviously. We didn't mention, I didn't realize this either, Miles, that this is the first diss track to win a Grammy. And he actually won multiples for that, Not Like Us is the song I'm talking about. Obviously, Record of the Year, and Music Video of the Year, and Song of the Year. Yeah, a lot of good stuff happening in this particular Grammy Awards run. So for me, it's like a shot over the bow, like a kickoff for our month. So Rick Caruso has launched a foundation to help rebuild LA after the fires. And I think that it's people like us here at KBLA calling him out, saying you're busy pointing fingers at Karen Bass, pointing fingers at Gavin Newsom, which he may be planning to run for mayor again. He may be planning to run for governor. Someone said he's going to be in the race to be the new elected county CEO. Whatever. Obviously he has electoral ambitions. And a lot of us called him out. You had private firefighters and saved your mall while people's homes burned. You over here pointing fingers instead of helping folks. It appears the billionaire developer got the message. He read the memo. He understood the assignment. He's now started something called Steadfast LA, which is meant to help rebuild. And he rightly said that this rebuilding, this recovery is going to be bigger than any one government, city, state, whatever, could really handle. He's got a bunch of wealthy movers and shakers that are on board to help with this. And this, to me, is what he should be doing, marshaling his wealth. And I respect the fact that he says he's not going to take donations. He's funding this himself. He says he's going to spend millions on it. He claims that if any of his wealthy friends step up with donations, he will redirect them to a church or nonprofit that needs the money because he's planning to fund this himself. If that pencils out, that's great. I wish more wealthy foundations would do that. He's already got Ted Sarandos from Netflix and others that are going to help. Andy Cohen, who's a architecture and design firm leader. And all these folks, these wealthy and powerful individuals, who I assume have worked with him on malls and other things he's built, are donating their time. He says that he's happy to let Mayor Karen Bass take the credit, which is interesting because he's taking the credit in a huge article in the LA Times. But I don't mind that. Take all the credit you want if you're actually going to do something other than sit on the sidelines and try to undermine our mayor and sit on the sidelines and protect your mall while your neighbor's homes burn to the ground. And obviously he knows a little something about building a little something. This is what we've been saying since he spent millions, over $100 million to be clear, to win the election, that we wanted him to spend money on more than electing himself and burnishing his own political image. Build some affordable housing. Help rebuild from the fire. And that's what he's doing. The mayor's office says they're happy to see it. He says it has nothing to do with politics. I doubt that, but I don't care. If you're doing it to gain political brownie points, great. I don't have a problem with that. If you're actually doing something to help the people of Los Angeles, whether it be the unhoused, who are already unhoused before the fires, or whether it be the people that lost everything. It doesn't matter. I'll give you your political brownie points. Just do something besides talk. Yeah. Always grateful for the folks in the chat. You guys got a lot of really good points. 800-920-1580 if you want to leap from the cyber world into the actual audio conversation that we're having here every day. And by the way, if you want to support KBLA and you are in the chat, please like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all the channels, all the different platforms. We're at KBLA 1580 on everything. I'm at DiPrima Radio on everything, DiPrima, and then radio, except for Fanbase, which is my full name, Dominique DiPrima. For some reason, they wouldn't let me have DiPrima Radio, but I am on Fanbase now. Join me there. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports, and then Barrington Salmon joins me as we unpack, slice, and dice what's happening on the world stage. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. California faces more rain this week with powerful storms bringing flooding, mudslides, and heavy snow to Northern California. Southern California expects rain through Friday, with mudslides risks heightened in wildfire-affected areas. Reports indicate that the Trump administration set a quota of 1,800 ICE arrests per day. Democrats fear this could lead to citizens and green card holders' biggest night. He mentioned he might be working with the country music superstar and teased stuff's coming. I'm Bree Wood.